kaibigan, pakinggan natin ang dahilan o reason kung bakit umurong ang Quadcom hearing sa November 13 and supposed to be ito ay mangyayari di umano sa November 21 at mali di umano mga kaibigan na may mga post sa social media na kinumpirma ni Attorney Sal Panelo na a-attend si Pangulong Digong, which is wala naman daw sulat or email na galing sa kanila to Quadcom. So dito parang ang nangyayari dito mga kaibigan, meron silang invitation na kay Tatay Digong. Alam natin yan dahil lahat tayo nakakaalam. Diba? Ito may mga sila. Please be informed that the 11th joint public hearing originally scheduled on Wednesday, November 13, 2024 has been moved on Thursday, 21st of November 2024, 9:30 a.m. People's Center Building, House of Representatives, Quezon City. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused on your schedule, but rest assured that we will keep you informed of any further developments. Thank you for your understanding. If you have inquiries, please feel free to contact the undersigned or the Secretariat through our email. Very truly yours, Representative Robert Ace Barber. So, ito mga kaibigan, meron na silang, ang sabi nila is kahapon pa di umano itong kanilang pag-postpone, pag-move ng schedule ng hearing po dito sa War on Drugs and or EJK mga kaibigan. Pero bakit November 10 ito may sulat sila? The Joint Committee Quadcom will hold its 11 public hearing in connection with its inquiry and in aid of legislation on the date, time, and place indicated hereunder. Date, November 13, 2024, Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. People's Center Building, House of Representatives, Quezon City. In the regard, the Joint Committee respectfully invites you once again to attend the aforesaid inquiry to provide valuable insights and shed light on the issues under the discussion, particularly on extrajudicial killings. Attached herewith is the agenda on the said meeting. Please confirm your attendance to the Secretariat in order to facilitate arrangements for your participation. If you plan to make a presentation, submit documents, or have an opening statement, submit the same to the committee secretariat ahead of time of its preparation. We look forward to your valuable contribution to this legislative inquiry. Very truly yours, Representative Robert Ace Barber. So ito po yung kanilang imbitasyon. So ngayon, bakit kahapon gumagawa sila ng letter na i-postpone ito mga kaibigan, at may naglalabas na attend si Tatay Digong. So ngayon parang ang ginagawa nilang nitong taga Quadcom na ito, ayan nga, nagpapapress con sila kaagad kasi ayan, magpapapress con daw si Ace Barbers ng 11 a.m. diba? Press con ba yan or damage control? Diba? Baka damage control kasi sila mismo ang nag-imbita na may hearing sa November 13 and then minove nila sa November 21. So ano pong ibig sabihin nun, mga kaibigan? Kaya masasabi natin na umurong sila, naduwag sila. Umurong sila or takot silang matatadyakan ni Tatay Digong, di ho ba? So dapat sila mismo ang umayos kasi sila naman ang nag-hold ng hearing na yan, sila naman ang mga presiding officers ng hearing na yan. So kailangan na maging maayos din. Kaya ang masasabi natin dito ay para bagang merong agenda pa sila na pwedeng gawin dito. Kaya ang masasabi natin, dahil ba hindi pa ready ang kanilang mga script, di pa ready ang kanilang mga script na gagawin dito sa hearing na ito kung sakali umattend si Tatay Digong. So dito, parang sila mismo ang gumagawa ng pagkalito ng mga tao. Wala namang masama kung nagpo-post si Attorney Salpanelo sa social media na attend si Tatay Digong sa hearing. So, hindi po big deal yun na nag-post si Attorney Salpanelo. Kaya nga, syempre, magkaibigang matalik yan sila ni Tatay Digong. So, lahat ng desisyon ay alam ni Attorney Salpanelo. So ngayon nagpost sa social media ng siguro kakaiba dahil ba kahit sino naman makapag-komento po, mga kaibigan, na ito ay isang pagkakamali. Parang ito ay damage control na ginagawa ng Quadcom na ito. Dahil sila mismo ang umurong. Sila mismo ang umurong. Kaya masabi talaga natin na ito ay meron silang gagawin na hindi pa talaga nila tapos gawin. So, dito mga kaibigan ay parang magkakaroon tayo ng komento dito na parang hindi maganda sa kanila, pero wag na lang nating sabihin. But then, tunghayan natin ang nagaganap na presscon dito po sa Quadcom, mga kaibigan. Thank you. Maraming salamat. Tunghayan natin ang kanilang presscon.
Dahil ang nakikita po namin dito, ang pinapupunta po nila yung mga career officials na sa tingin po namin, hindi naman po sila talagang concern. Yung mga talaga pong mga officials na directly involved dito, parang pilit po nilang hindi pinararating. Parang nagkakaroon po ng cover-up dito po sa issue na to. Thank you.
Okay, I think the easiest gateway, as always, is politically motivated. Ano na yan basang-basa na yung ganyang justification. And ako naniniwala ako that we are living in this world na talagang merong politika ang lahat ng bagay. I always say that yung dito sa gobyerno, there will always be politics. Hindi naman pwedeng walang politika And even in the different field natin, maraming politika even sa media, meron tayong politics involved, di ba? Kaya yung politically motivated, I think we need to change the narrative na politically motivated to. Alam na natin yan kasi nasa government tayo And we are elected people and we are all politicians. Kaya ang tingin ko, yung sinasabi na politically motivated, granted na po yan. Kasama na po sa equation yan. So, I hope that we will be stopped using the word politically motivated.
Actually, yung Blue Ribbon Committee, gusto lang makita kung ano yung totoo at yung katotohanan kung paano ginasta ng opisina ng Vice President, ng Office of the Vice President, yung kanyang confidential fund, at saka kung paano ginastos ng Department of Education sa pangunguna ni VP Sara, yung kanyang confidential fund din. At sa totoo lang, nalulungkot ang committee dahil kung sino yung mga taong involved, katulad ni Acosta at saka yung kanyang chief of staff, hindi pinapapunta ni Vice President Sara dahil sila naman talaga yung may responsibility regarding doon sa confidential fund dahil siya yung disbursing officer. At sana wag niya nang pagtakpan kasi nga tama naman si Chairman Joel na parang nagkakaroon ng cover up. Kung sino yung mga taong wala namang kinalaman, yun yung pinapapunta nila. Samantalang yung mga taong may responsibility regarding doon sa kung paano ginastos yung pera ng ating pamahalaan, yun yung hindi niya pinapapunta. Plus yung sinasabi niya na hindi daw totoo yung mga resibo na ipinapakita, no, na ipinakita sa committee, galing mismo sa galing mismo sa Commission on Audit yun. Commission on Audit yung nagbigay sa committee, kaya hindi po pwedeng sabihin ni VP Sara na peke yon. Katulad ni Mary Grace Piatos, no? Sila ang naglagay ng pangalan doon. Alam naman natin na hindi totoo yon. Gawa-gawa na lamang nila yon. So, kailangan harapin nila yung responsibilidad sa kung ano yung ginawa nila at kung paano nila niliquidate, no, yung paggamit ng kanilang confidential fund. Siguro hindi nila akalain na scrutinize masyado yung kanilang pag-liquidate, kaya ganun na lang yung ginawa nila. Tandaan natin, pera yan ng gobyerno, pera yan ng mamamayan, kailangan merong transparency at kailangan may accountability. And VP Sara should be accountable kung ano yung ginawa nila sa Office of the Vice President patungkol sa confidential fund at saka bilang Secretary ng Department of Education sa confidential fund ng DepEd.
To add lang po siguro, no, on the first part of the question, yung politically motivated, I think our colleagues mentioned already pretty well. Malala po natin, we've already wanted to discuss yung CIF funds nung sa budget appropriation hearings pa lang. At that time, sinabi na po nila politically motivated, not the right venue. Ngayon na mayroong committee with the proper jurisdiction, sasabihin na politically motivated na naman, baka not the proper venue, hindi raw in aid of legislation. So when would be the right time to talk about the misuse of confidential intelligence funds? I don't think it would be fair to demean the committee by saying po na politically motivated po ito. It takes away the truth of the matter na ang hinahanap po natin ay transparency and accountability. Now with that said po, na on the second question, wala pong wrongdoing yung OVP. Evidence would suggest otherwise. I think this is not to prejudge the case, but despite the Vice President refusing to take her oath, despite the refusal to appear on behalf of some OVP officials, despite the refusal to cooperate, lumalabas pa rin po yung katotohanan. Through documentary evidence and through testimony of other witnesses, nakita po natin parang to the extent of the compartmentalization, ng utilization ng CIF, nakita po natin the way that the office has operated. And to say that there's no wrongdoing, I'm not sure. I could be mistaken, but in the history of our republic, I don't think the COA has ever flagged yet a national agency for misuse of confidential and intelligence funds. This would be the first time. The mere fact na may red flag, yun po yung naging cause ng committee hearing na to. So it begs the question, yung nakikita natin ngayon sa mga witnesses and resource persons, sa documentary evidence, is there a modus operandi being conducted within the office? Yun po yung gusto namin malaman at parang yun po yung nakita natin. And we still hope, we extend that invitation, sana po mag-attend yung mga invited resource persons at mag-cooperate for the sake na po na maging transparent na po sila. Yun lang po.
Ako naman, susugan ko lang yung sinabi ni Kong Rog na ang mandato ho ng committee ito ay i-determine yung accountability ng public officers. In fact, it is very clear in the rules, no, na kung merong malfeasance, misfeasance, and non-feasance committed by any public official, then it is the mandate and it is the duty of this committee to initiate investigation. Now, we're not saying guilty ang mga taong naimbestigahan dito. Kaya nga kailangan makita ano ba yung mga dokumento that will prove otherwise, no? That there was no malfeasance, misfeasance, or non-feasance. But kung hindi ho natin tutumbok, no, yung usapin tungkol dyan sa mga nakumit na mga yan, then it will leave a big question mark on the minds and on the thoughts of our Filipino people. Kaya nga kailangan sana matapos natin ito, mabigyan natin ito ng closure. Nang sa ganon ay kung meron man na mga public officers that will be held accountable, then meron po tayong mga batas tungkol dyan.
Follow-up lang po, one follow-up lang. Sabi po ni VP, yung ibang officials ng OVP, busy raw po na mag-prepare sa anniversary ng OVP. And if I'm not mistaken, parang this week po yata yung anniversary ng Office of the Vice President. And do you think na dahil yung mga ihinarap kahapon sa pagdinig yung mga career officials, meron po bang parang pag-shield dun daw sa mga close-in aides ng Vice President? Thank you po.
Gaya nga po ng binanggit namin kanina, actually, hindi naman po ito yung first time na sila ay maimbitahan. This is actually the 5th committee hearing. From day 1, hindi na po sila umattend at never na po silang nakipag-cooperate sa amin. At kung amin pong titignan, parang nga pong itong cover-up. Parang nagkakaroon po ng cover-up dito at talaga naman yung mga directly involved dito po sa isyung to, sa confidential fund, ay talagang hindi nila pinapupunta. In fact, during the committee hearing, tinanong po yung isang career, si Attorney Sanchez, at sinabi nga po niya, ang nakakaalam lamang po netong confidential fund sa OVP ay yung disbursing officer, si Gina Acosta, yung chief of staff, si Attorney Zulaika Lopez, at si VP mismo, si VP Sara Duterte.
Actually, si VP Sara is shielding her inner circle, no? Sa accountability. Kaya kung makikita natin, merong selective participation, kung sino lang yung gusto nilang ipadala at walang direktang kinalaman dun sa liquidation ng fund, yun yung pinapadala niya. So, kailangan nating makita kung ano yung nangyari at malaman natin kung ano yung katotohanan regarding sa confidential fund, kung paano ito ginagastos, no? Dahil kailangan din natin ng karagdagang batas para maprotektahan yung pera ng mamamayan.
Okay. I think the father and daughter have the same kind of personality, shielding their own people. Why? Si BP Sara, nakita natin how she protected yung mga tao niya by not letting them to attend the hearing. Dito naman si former president, sinasabi niya, me alone, it's all me, ang responsible dun sa war on drugs. But kahapon lamang nagsalita na po si PNP chief at sinabi niya that 1,286 na mga affected ng war on drugs died and others were wounded, and yung iba naman po ay 219 cops were I think charged criminally, and marami po yung na-charge, almost 200 plus as well, and na-dismiss pala, meron po na-dismiss, 200 plus, and yung iba facing summary dismissal as well. So I think yung pronouncement ng presidente that siya po ang sasagot sa lahat ng problem, yung mga lower ranks sa ating pong kapulisan, paratang hindi po nangyayari. And this is the same trait and behavior that are not now being manifested on her daughter. So nakikita po natin yung pattern. Yun lang po.
In addition po sa sinabi ni Chairman Dan, kung may Davao model sa EJK, may Davao model din sa paggastos ng confidential fund, Nakikita natin yung pattern ng mag-ama, nakikita natin yung pattern na kanilang ginagawa patungkol sa extrajudicial killing at saka kung paano nila ginagastos yung confidential fund. Tandaan natin na ang Davao yung may pinakamalaking confidential fund yan sa lahat ng city sa buong bansa, So kung paano nila ginastos yung confidential fund ng DepEd at saka ng Office of the Vice President, binabase din nila sa Davao model.
In addition lang po, on the first point, yung the reason for their absence, I think nabanggit naman ni Chairman Chua na this is not the first hearing, we're already in our 4th or 5th po ba, and yet they did not attend. I don't think for all those hearings it would account for yung preparation for the OVP anniversary. With that said, in addition, even if ito lang po if this is the only hearing that they're made to attend, I don't think equal naman po importance ng anniversary. Every year naman po yun, yung anniversary as compared to a committee in which under fire po yung integrity and accountability ng isang opisina, the second highest official in the land. So for them to choose OVP preparations, which one could be done by other staff, I suppose, and two happens every year, versus answering questions po sa committee, I think mas importante naman po yung committee. So, I think sa reasoning pa on that alone, parang nakakaduda na rin po talaga yung same time po nawawala yung mga key persons. With that said, on the second question po, yung whether there is a cover-up of sorts, I think like I mentioned earlier, ang nakikita po natin in the hearings that we've conducted so far, sobrang compartmentalized po yung OVP in relation to the CIF. And it would appear, based on the records, nakita po natin yung statements ng dalawang resource persons that attended were notarized by an official of the OVP. You couldn't help but think na baka coordinated po yung statements na ito. Kumbaga, sila po yung pina-attend just to assuage or to satisfy the committee na may resource persons. Pero yung pinadala naman, walang kinalaman about sa CIF. Ang alam lang po nila is the issuance of yung cheque, which is not the question at hand. Our question is paano po ginastos yung confidential funds. So with that compartmentalization, nakita po natin, it seems to be po they're protecting those that have actual knowledge of the fact. And yun po yung kailangan po natin sa committee.
Thank you, Haji. We'd like to recognize Tina Pangaliban Perez from GMA7 for her questions.
Good morning po, sirs. On the Quadcom hearing, bakit po cancelled yung pagdinig bukas, and when was the decision to cancel arrived at?
Thank you for that question, Tina. The Quadcom chairs are already contemplating since last week to move the scheduled Wednesday Quadcom hearing, no? For several reasons. First reason, yung aming mga if you recall, no, lagi namin sinasabi kapag may mga witnesses, we want them to execute affidavits. Number two, even if they have executed their affidavits, we will have to vet them. No? Meron pong legal team ina-assist ang Quadcom to interview yung aming mga because marami po ang gustong magsalita. Marami po ang gustong magbigay ng testimonya. Ang aming pong palagay, kailangan aralin namin, no? Kung sino ho yung aming iharap dun sa usapin ng EJK, dun sa usapin ng drugs, at syempre dun din sa usapin ng Pogo. Now, because of the several witnesses who wanted to give their testimony before the Quadcom, we decided that we should maybe interview them all first. Tingnan namin, sino ba yung yung mas credible doon? And it will take a lot of time, no, para sa amin. So we decided that before we set this meeting, again, no, kailangan kumpirmado na kung sino yung ating iharap. Sino yung mga witnesses na pwedeng magbigay ng kanilang salaysay na ika nga ay may credibility. Kasi gaya nung sinasabi ko sa inyo noon, marami yung gustong tumistigo. In fact, umabot pa kami sa punto na yung isang gustong tumistigo, pagkatapos siya magbigay ng kanyang affidavit, ay umabot kami sa punto na kailangan pa namin ipasuri siya sa psychiatrist, no? Ipasuri siya through a polygraph test sa Camp Crame, no? Para malaman namin kung ito ba'y nagsasabi ng totoo. Hindi ho madali, no, magpresenta ng witnesses. Kaya napag-usapan nga namin, kagaya ho kahapon ng hapon, na-decide na ho namin na i-cancel yung aming meeting supposedly for tomorrow, ngayong Wednesday, November 13, to give us more time hanggang next Thursday to interview, to set up our agenda, at tapusin po lahat ng pwede naming ma-interview. That is the reason why we had to cancel.
Actually, 2 days ago, nag-decide na kami dyan eh. A week ago pa, pinag-uusapan na natin, Chairman. And then suddenly, kahapon, parang last night, parang nakakita tayo na attend na raw sila. And ang problem natin dyan, we have already notified yung mga resource persons, especially yung mga galing sa Cebu, yung mga victims. And at the same time, meron po kami binibet na galing sa Isabela, and I think one also from the north. And suddenly, naka-receive tayo ng mga ganong pronouncement that he will be attending. But of course, hindi pa naman po yun official na galing po sa former president that he will be attending on tomorrow's hearing. Unless and until that we have received any copy from him, then most likely. But it's hard to na makapag-ano na po tayo tomorrow because yung pronouncement and the invitation to other resource persons were already been cancelled.
Dagdagan ko lang yung sinabi ni Kong Dan. No? Kahapon pa na-cancel na namin yung aming hearing. At 6:30 p.m., the Quadcom chairs have already informed the Secretariat to send out notices to all our members and to all our invited resource persons na hindi po hindi po natin matutuloy yung ating hearing ngayong Wednesday, no? At all these notices via email, via digital and Viber notices, pinadala na ho yan kahapon pa lang. And wala ho kaming wala ho kaming confirmation pa kung sino yung a-attend. Wala naman ho nagsabi sa amin na may a-attend na sa Wednesday because as early as yesterday, we have already sent out cancellation notices. Kaya wala namang nagulat lang kami ngayon na meron palang gustong umattend. No? Welcome naman po yan sa atin. Kaya lang, na-cancel na po natin. And just to let everybody know that we have already postponed it for November 21st, Thursday next week. So lahat po ng inimbitahan namin na kinancel namin ay iimbitahan ho namin ulit. Nang sa ganoon, mahaba-haba ho yung inyong preparasyon, mahaba-haba yung oras para maka-attend dito sa aming Quadcom hearing sa
Mr. Chairman, baka iniisip ko rin during the time that we have discussed that on Sunday, I think we finalized on Sunday. Baka may mga chairman na mold doon sa pag-uusap natin. Just kidding. Pero we already decided last Sunday pa po at pinormalize lang po namin yan kahapon, and that's the reason why we already have a meeting yesterday. Unfortunately, may mga gantong issue na darating daw po, and I think it's hard for us to really send invitation again to those who have been canceled resource persons.
And kung wala naman talagang kung wala naman talagang direct statement ang ating former president na darating siya, tingin namin propaganda lang yung lumalabas ngayon sa internet, no, sa social media na darating siya. Kasi gusto rin naming dumating siya dahil pinagbantaan nga niya yung mga congressmen na sinasabi niya, sisipain daw niya, wala namang virtual kick. Diba? So, mas maganda sana dumating siya dahil willing naman si Chairman Dan na magpasipa sa former president.
virtual key.
Tsaka napakahirap naman po kung na-cancel ng isang committee hearing. Para mag-imbita ka na naman, you need at least 3-day notice sa mga i-invite ninyo. So, masyado na pong short yung ilang oras. In fact, yung mga naging reason kung bakit po kami nag-issue ng subpoena for the second time, na-reissue po namin because we are following our rules dito po sa House.
Sir, yung si Attorney Panelo kasi yung isa sa mga nag-confirm na pupunta raw si former president. Tapos, with the cancellation of the hearing, may mga posts po kasi online saying na baka naduwag daw yung Quadcom.
Alam mo, unang-una, hindi naman si Attorney Panelo inimbitahan namin. Di ba? It was the former president ang aming inimbitahan. And we were informed that the lawyer or the counsel of the former president, where we also received letters from the law office of Attorney Delgra. Yun lang yung iniintay namin na information. So kung social media, wala akong pupunta. Kung nagtatawag kayo ng mga vloggers, parang disrespect yan sa atin dito sa sistema ng ating invitasyon. Do not invite in the social media. Kung gusto nyo, sumagot kayo, sulatan nyo kami. Diba? Sulatan nyo kami kung kayo ay pupunta. Hindi yung sa social media kayo magsasalita. Of course, we appreciate the fact that pupunta ang ating dating Pangulo dahil yun naman po ang request ng ating mga kasamahan sa Quadcom, no? Na magkaroon ng talakayan, magkaroon ng palitan ng idea tungkol dito sa usapin sa EJK at usapin sa drugs, no? Na kung saan ay centerpiece ng kampanya ng ating dating administrasyon. Kaya nga gusto sana nating marinig mismo mula sa ating dating Pangulo kung ano yung mga kasagutan na kanyang ibibigay dun sa mga tanong na pinaghandaan ng ating mga Quadcom members. So, wag po nating I noticed also that there are several comments from the vloggers of I don't know which camp is that, no? Saying na wala pong naduduwag dito. Ganito ho, para ho malinaw. Sa 21 meron kaming hearing. Yan ho, punta ho tayo dito. Pagkatapos ng 21, let us know kung kailan kayo pwede. Because we will schedule another Quadcom hearing on the date convenient for you, on the date na gusto ninyo, para ho mailatag natin ng maayos ang ating imbitasyon.
And reminder also as well, Mr. Chairman, as what Chairman Chu mentioned a while ago, that there is a 3-day ruling that are being followed by the po kami officially. Wag po sana sa social media para at least lahat kasi pag social media you can always deny it, di ba? Pwede kang hindi pumunta tapos sabihin hindi naman formal yon. But of course kapag ginawa po nating official ang lahat, then resibo po yan. So I hope that prior to November 21 hearing, somebody or the lawyer of the former president will write the committee for his attendance. Maraming salamat po.
Sir, clarification lang. At this point in time, walang natatanggap na kahit written or digital communication from the camp of former President Duterte na dadalos sana dapat sila bukas.
Wala po kami natatanggap hanggang sa ngayon. Ang nakikita lang namin yung mga vloggers. So, hindi ho namin pinakikinggan yung mga vloggers kasi wala naman nung sinabing tama yan kundi tirahin lang itong si Dan Fernandez. Kaya yun ho ang aming we wrote to them inviting them. Then we also gave them a notice of cancellation via email, via Viber text messages, and all other forms of communication. Yun lang ho ang iniintay namin. Kung meron hong letter sa amin, wala ho kami natatanggap. At dahil nga po nung Monday pa, bago po sinabing pupunta si former president sa hearing, sinabi ho yun, na-cancel na namin Di ba? Na-cancel na ho. Bigla hong nasabing pupunta. Hindi naman ho ganun ang proseso. Di ba? Ang proseso, may imbitasyon kami at hinihintay namin yung reply. But even prior to the reply to our invitation, ay na-cancel na po namin. Kasi nga po, sa nabanggit kong rason kanina kung bakit po namin kinancel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next questions from Marian Enriquez of TV5. Okay, Vivian Gulia from ABS-CBN.
Actually, yung clarification ko yun lang din, sir. So, bali, dalawang letters lang po yung na-receive ng Quadcom from the camp of the former president. The first one was yung before the November 1st, and the second one was declining the invitation. Wala na pong ibang communication na na-receive po.
Hindi, ganito po yan. Since the start of the Quadcom hearings, invitation has already been extended to the former president and the two senators, incumbent senators. But there was no reply. Then we had a subsequent committee hearings of the Quad. There was no reply whether they will attend or not. Now, there was a press statement issued by the former president that he said wala siya natatanggap na invitation. That's why we had to send again another invitation for our October 22 committee Quadcom hearing. At the following day, we already received a letter coming from his lawyer, si Atty. Delgra, saying that he needs to rest, the former president needs to rest, he has a lot of engagements, has been tired, and because we understood that the former president is already old and we would like to give him the time to rest, so we accepted the cancellation. Then we sent again another letter, supposedly last for the November 7 hearing. Then we received again another letter. Sinasabi na hindi siya pupunta because walang integridad ang Quadcom at na-prejudge na siya ni Congressman Dan Fernandez at ni Kong Benny Abante at saka mahaba pa yung rason. So we accepted again, no, the refusal to attend. Now we're supposed to have a November 13 hearing, but we decided to cancel it yesterday. Ngayon sasabihin na pupunta. Ano ba talaga, kuya? Di ba? So, I mean, ito formally sent po yung letter at invitation. Of course, we appreciate the fact that the former president is now interested to attend. No? Kaya malaki pong yan, dahil malaki pong maitutulong yan sa Quadcom.
Talagang, in other words, no, talagang propaganda lang, no, yung ginagawa nila, lalong-lalo na yung sinasabi nilang pag-attend sa committee hearing ng Quadcom, no. Talagang nabubudol-budol nga, no, yung ating mga mamamayan regarding sa kung ano yung kanilang mga sinasabing statement.
Thank you. Before we continue our press conference, I'd like to acknowledge the arrival of House Committee on Human Rights Chairman, Manila Representative Bienvenido Benny Abante Jr. Thank you for joining us, sir. Okay, Bibian, are you okay? May I call on Lenes Capanti from GMA News Online?
Morning po. Sir, yung kay former President Duterte also, he said that he had nothing more to say, to add, given his testimony in the Senate, the drug war probe. And he also said na wala na daw siyang pera, pamasahe. Papamasahihan niyo daw ba siya? That's how he said it. Na wala na daw siyang pera, pamasahe. So how do you respond to this? He has nothing to add more to what he said in the Senate. So do you agree with that? And yung second na wala daw siyang pamasahe papunta dito.
Well, in fact, that was stated in the letter of Attorney Delgra. No? Sabi niya, he has nothing more to add. No? Dun sa Quadcom, sinabi na daw niya lahat ng gusto niyang sabihin sa And of course, we took note of that. No? Pero nga, mas maganda nga sana na sa kagustuhan ng mga mayorya ng membro ng Quadcom na makaharap at matanong direkta ang ating Pangulo, dating Pangulo. So, I think if the President would welcome that, we will appreciate kapag siya nag-attend. Yun nga lang po, nagkaroon lamang po ng cancellation ngayong Wednesday because of the reasons I stated earlier at hindi dahil sa sinasabi ng mga vlogger. Wala hong hindi ho namin pinakikinggan yan. Nababasa-basa lang po natin yan. Kung sa mga pamasahe naman, nag-usap-usap ang mga chairman, ang pinakamalaking ambag ay si Congressman Dan. At gusto lamang malaman kung ilan sila, so that we can also accommodate at ma-arrange din po yung mga accommodation.
Na at the same time siguro we have to make it formal. No? Formalize natin lahat kasi nga pag yung sa social media tayo nagsagutan, I think it will not be proper. No? At maliligaw po tayo. Especially yan, nagpo-pronounce sila that they will be attending. And it's not even coming from the president, di ba? So we are governed by the rule of law and we are governed by the rules of the committee. And I hope that kung talagang a-attend po ang presidente, now is the right time to notify the committee, especially November 21 pa naman yan, malayo pa, Thursday pa. So we have all the time para i-prepare. Ang problem talaga, alam nyo, mahirap din naman po yung bukas mag-hearing na po kami. Eh di somebody will accuse us that we are, kumbaga, binibreak namin yung own rules namin of the 3-day notice. Kaya sana po, ibalik na po natin yung tamang proseso para na sa ganun, we will be guided accordingly.
Chairman Abante.
Just lang sir, to add, yung sinabi niyang wala siyang pamasahe, it was a press conference. It was not a social, hindi siya galing sa vlog. He had a press conference and he said na yun nga, wala daw siyang pamasahe.
Well, nasagot na po ni Chairman Ace Barberson tungkol dito. So, we're willing to chip in kung talagang kinakailangan. If really the President wants to come. Hindi namin siya pipilitin according to his condition, a health condition, o mental condition. kami naman we would like the people to know that we have high respect for the former president, and we really want to hear his side of the issue. Kahit na po marami siyang nasabi sa Senado, it's up to him actually. It's up to him. Hindi naman niya sinabi personally na pupunta siya eh. It was actually his lawyer who said it. So, it's up to him. If you'd like to come, very much welcome po siya.
Just like to add lang po to the first point, kasi po, our only basis is yung letter ni Attorney Delga. I don't know yet the sentiments of the former president. But when the committee invites resource persons, it's not only for them to have any unilateral pronouncements, but we also have questions. So pag sinasabi po nila they have nothing more to say, I think kami po sa committee ay marami pong katanungan. So we hope that they do reconsider. When he appeared before the Senate and he made those pronouncements, I think it left more questions than answers. So on the topic lang po, no, sinasabi na they have nothing more to say. I hope that they could reconsider, take the invitation, and then answer the questions of our members.
Thank you, Yaneska. Gab Lalu from Inquirer Online. Please proceed with your questions.
Sir, just a quick follow-up. Kasi na-mention po yung advanced age ni former President Duterte. Pero if I recall, in one of the hearings before the Quad Committee was formed, parang pumunta po si former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, di ba? To explain dun sa CESA. May ganun din po. Parang kumbaga kung nakapunta po si former Senate President Enrile, bakit hindi makakapunta siya?
Well, actually, yung sa Committee on Public Order and Safety, when we started the investigation on the POGO, it was initially referred to my committee, and we invited the former Senate President, si Juan Ponce Enrile, and with all due respect with him, talagang siya po ang inuna namin because of his old age. And lahat na po ng mga questions that wanted to be asked about dun sa I think executive order number I forgot the 53 ata o 54 about sa POGO ay tinanong na po kay former Senate President, and after which ay pinayagan na po namin na makauwi po si Juan Ponce Enrile, and we hope that sana ganun nga din po gawin, no? Kasi naman lahat naman po ng members dito, no, we just have to establish lang po doon sa hearing that kailangan po talagang ano po natin yung proper decorum, no, at sana walang uttering of bad words, no, para at least yung respect bigat sa di ba, respect din at siguro kung gano'n ang magiging tema ng ating pong hearing on November 21, magiging maayos din po katulad nung kay Senate Juan Ponce Enrile. And we hope that we will have a proper and dignified hearing on November 21 with the presence of the former President.
Para lang malinaw, yung aming decision to cancel the hearing ay kahapon po yon, Lunes dahil po ang susunod na hearing ay sa Miyerkules. Pero last week pa ho, napapag-usapan namin yun dahil nga tuloy-tuloy yung aming vetting sa aming mga witnesses. So we decided na mukhang kukulangin tayo sa oras at sa araw para matapos natin yung interview namin dun sa mga gustong mag-testigo. So we decided yesterday ng hapon na i-cancel na ito. And immediately, the Secretariat sent notices to all the resource persons, to all the invited guests, and ating pong mga members. No? Wala hong confirmation na may pupunta si dating Pangulong Duterte. Wala hong ganong information. In fact, nalaman lamang namin na pupunta siya, no, dahil nga marami daw kumakalat sa social media. But we already canceled. We sent out notices of cancellation kahapon pa ho. So, ang confirmation nila came after we already canceled. So, sa susunod, huwag nyo na i-cancel. November 21 po ang aming next invitation. And if you wish to attend, we will appreciate. If you do not, then please let us know ahead of time.
Sir, just another follow-up. Usually po ba gaano katagal yung response time ng mga resource persons. For example, if you sent out the invitation last, kunyari, Monday, how long the two resource persons reply?
Depende sa ano. Yung iba, immediately, they reply, no? Meron na kaagad mga receipt, no? Yung mga notices, no? Meaning, they acknowledge that they already received the cancellation notice. Yung iba naman, it takes a while, no? Minsan, 2 hours, 3 hours. Minsan nga, hanggang kagabi, meron pang nagpadala ng notice at 10:35 p.m. Formal notice of cancellation was sent to Attorney Delgra at 9:23 p.m. And an email also was sent to him at 10:35 p.m. So, sumagot lang siya this morning at 7:14 a.m. this morning. So, you know, we already advised him, but basta ang aming objective ay ma-advise sila prior to the date, the scheduled date of the committee hearing so that hindi na rin po sila mabala. Wala, it was just a acknowledgement receipt of the cancellation. Yun lang ang ano. So meaning, they knew already na canceled na yun kagabi pa, no? Because it was already sent. So, yun ang ano yun ang ngayon lang namin nalaman na meron palang interest to attend ang ating dating Pangulo sa Wednesday where we have already canceled nung Monday.
Okay ka na, Gab? Thank you. Are there any other related questions on
Sorry.
Quadcom?
Hindi
Okay.
po ba masyadong late yung Monday night na finals or Monday afternoon na finalize tapos Tuesday, Wednesday po morning yung mismong hearing? Kung kunyari nakauwi na po or lipad kumbaga from other provinces yung mga resource persons.
Kaya nga, we made it the point that yesterday, masabihan na kagad namin sila. No? Because 2 days prior notice, I think is enough time for them to decide on whether to go or not to go. So when we sent the cancellation notice, we knew that they all received it, they acknowledged it, at wala naman nagsabing pupunta sila. So, kasi rather than ituloy natin ng Wednesday ang hearing at hindi pa ready yung aming mga witnesses, no? Sayang ho yung araw. Remember, we're also pressed for time here. Gusto namin that when we present witnesses, we discuss issues, kailangan hindi na po magtagal. Gusto namin matapos agad, nang sa ganun makagawa na ho kami ng aming committee report.
Sir, clarify lang. So, kung may nag-respond po sa inyo yesterday afternoon na nung sinabi niyo yung notice na i-cancel po, and may nagsabi na may a-attend, particularly Digong, itutuloy niyo po ba?
Ay, hindi na. Cancel na namin. So, we're not going to adjust our schedule, our scheduled hearing for somebody. Yung amin ay we wanted to make sure na ang tatalakayin ng Quadcom, dahil marami po tayong mga kababayan na nanonood, ay hindi po sila they will not feel shortchanged. I don't know how to say that, but hindi po sila magkakaroon ng pakiramdam na parang nabudol sila. Wala akong pambubudol sa Quadcom. Dahil yung amin po, para mailabas yung katotohanan, kailangan pulido ang aming mga testimonya ng aming mga witnesses.
Thank you. Your question is still related to Quadcom? Okay, go ahead.
Sir, so ngayon po kung fact of the matter is that nakakapagtaka para sa inyo na after ng ilan na imbitasyon sa dating Pangulo na handang tanggapin siya ng komite, ngayon kung kailan malino na kanselado sa panig nila, ngayon sila biglang maglalabas ng ugong na a-attend sila, sir.
Yun, nagulat kami, no? The fact that we only found out from the social media na meron palang a-attend at nag-confirm ang ating dating, although hindi po ito galing sa dating Pangulo, ito po ay galing sa mga vloggers. I don't know, sino pa papaniwalaan? Ang alam ko, as far as the records of the Quad Committee is concerned, the counsel, the lawyer representing the former president is Attorney Delcra. In fact, naging issue pa nga yan eh. Diba? Meron bang engagement, meron bang letter, etc., etc. So, we only listen, no? Dun sa formally has entered their appearance before the Quadcom or those that are representing our resource persons and has informed the committee, although has not physically entered this appearance yet. Kaya nga, kagaya nga yung kay Attorney Delcra, yun ang hinihintay namin. But you know, marami pa hong hearing ito and we will expect that the former president will still attend. No? Kasi po, ito yung request ng ating mga kasamaan sa Quadcom. So hindi ito yung una't huli. Panglimang imbitasyon o mahigit panglimang imbitasyon na ito na hindi po nakadalo ang ating dating Pangulo. Ngayon ho, na na-cancel, ngayon po, mahirap pong dumalo dahil na-cancel. But we only got the confirmation from the social media.
So kung ngayon na may nangyaring ganito, kung sa susunod na pagdinig ay hindi magpakita ang dating Pangulo, ano pong, how will the committee turn?
I really don't know. Kasi ngayon, mahaba-haba yung oras na pwede mag-decide, no, ang ating dating Pangulo. No? May nakita nga akong na isang post sa social media na sa November 21 daw ay hindi daw pwede. Ano ba yung totoo niyan, di ba? Basta we will send out invitations, the schedule of the Quadcom, based on our rules, based on our collective decision, we will set our hearing. And when we set our hearing, we expect that pursuant to the rules of the Quad Committee, we will send out invitations prior to the scheduled date of the committee hearing para inform po lahat ng aming resource persons na imbitahan.
Bakit sa social media namin kukunin yung confirmation? Diba? I mean, kami naman, sumusulat naman kami officially. Hindi namin inaano sa social media na, iniimbitahan namin si dating Pangulo. Diba? I mean, it's a personal letter to him, no? Ng Quadcom. So, ine-expect din po namin na yung lawyer niya, tatawagan din kami, sabihin sa amin kung makaka-attend o hindi. In fact, nung nabasa ko yung reason kung bakit hindi makaka-attend ang Pangulo, yung last invitation namin, akala ko talaga hindi na siya mag-attend sapagkat sinabi niya ron sa mga reason niya na hindi siya naniniwala ron sa aming investigasyon. Pangalawa, nasabi niya lahat dapat niya sabihin sa Senado. So, sa akin, I thought na talaga hindi na siya mag-attend because of those reasons.
Thank you. Thank you, Earl. Go ahead, Rosalie Cos from UNTV.
Almost same question with Marian kay Kong Barbers po. Kasi you said contemplating po last week pa kung itutuloy o hindi. And the invitation to former President was sent on November 11. If po na nag-confirm yung camp ni former President Duterte even before kayo mag-decide na i-cancel, you will push for the investigation and you will accommodate him kahit siya lang.
Kung itutuloy namin? No, yung hearing hindi naman para lang kay former president.
But yung pong fact na nagbigay sila ng communication that he will attend even before mag-cancel po kayo.
Well, kapag may confirmation ng ganyan, we will have to make do with the witnesses that we have already interviewed. Kaso wala naman kami nakuha ang confirmation. So we will not, that's why we decided yesterday that we had to cancel it. Kasi kung na-inform kami, maaaring natuloy namin yun. Di baling iilan lang yung aming witnesses para hindi ho tayo umabot ng madaling araw. Kasi I'm sure abutin na naman ng 2:00 ng madaling araw kung sakasakali.
Actually, in addition to that, Chairman Ace and I were talking over the phone kanina, and I told him, pwede nating ituloy na si former president lang yung ating guest, no, resource person. But unfortunately, na-inform na yung mga resource person, like for example, yung mga victims na luluwas na naman dito. Siyempre, yung pamasahe nila, tapos yung invitation as well. So, kanina, hindi pa naman final yung pag-uusap namin. But of course, after a while, na-confirm ko na hindi na rin natin talaga itutuloy because of the, katulad na sinabi ni Chairman Chua, meron din kasi talagang rules na nag-govern sa atin eh. And we will be breaking our own rules at hindi magandang tignan yun. At kaya nga, we decided na rin talaga na huwag na ituloy. Kasi nga, ang premise din natin, ang premise ko rin naman, they will galvanize the situation that tayo yung umaatras doon sa pagdating niya. But as I've said, meron tayong sinusunod na rules dito, kaya dapat yung po yung sundin natin. At I hope that, ayan na naman, gano'n na naman eh. November 21, meron pa naman November 28, meron pa naman December. So, I think we still have a lot of elbow room para pag-usapan at yung i-formalize yung pagdating niya. Huwag po tayong biglain. At kasi nga, hindi naman po isang tao lang nag-iisip dito. We have so many members and we have so many chairmen and we have to decide collectively. Ako, sa tingin ko, sinadya yun. Kasi Sunday pala pinag-uusapan na to eh. Kaya nga, yun yung ano nila, yung style eh, di ba? And to make it appear na tayo yung umaatras sa ganitong klase ng invitation. Whereas we've been inviting him for so many hearings already. If I'm not mistaken, doon pa lang sa committee ng EJK, ng human rights, months ago pa yan, in-invite na po ni Chairman Abante. And they declined. And now, nag-hearing na po tayo, na-convene yung Quadcom, we continually inviting the former president, pero still, hindi pa rin po siya umaattend. And now na nagkaroon po ng ganitong decision ng Quadcom to cancel it, then suddenly, saka sila appear. Magmumukha naman po kaming we're not following our own rules. Pangit po sa ating po mga members.
Dagdagan ko lang, no? Wala kasi namang formal confirmation na pupunta ang ating dating Pangulo. Sabi ko nga kanina, ito ay galing lamang doon sa mga vloggers, no? Na walang ginagawa kundi tirahin si Dan Fernandez. So, again, no? Yung pong next hearing namin November 21, yung kung gustong magpaimbita, magsabi na ho kayo para mapadala namin kayo ng invitation. No? You can send us through the email. May I get the email number, Comsec? No? So I can, those who wants to be invited, marami ho mukhang marami nagsasalita sa social media gusto nyo maimbita, pipilitin ho namin na ma-accommodate kayo, no? Hindi ho namin mapapangako, pero yung mga, syempre yung mga hindi po namin ma-accommodate, pwede naman din po kayo pumunta, pero doon kayo sa reserved seat intended for guests. Pero as resource persons, meron yung reserved seat yan para sa aming resource persons. So, kung gusto nyo maimbita, padala nyo kami ng sulat.
Okay, Vivian Gulia from ABS-CBN2.
Sir, if you would have confirmation lang, si Colonel Garbaro po left the country last November 7th. Hindi na po ba siya kakailanganin tanungin pa ng Quadcom?
No, nandiyan siya nung huling hearing namin eh. Kasama niya yung si dating Colonel Leonardo. He was also there, represented by with his lawyers, no, kasama. So we have no idea kung umalis sa bansa, nasa bansa ba, nakaalis na. I have no information.
Pero hindi na po siya kakailanganin tanungin pa ng Quadcom in the succeeding hearings?
Well, we advise them na kapag kinakailangan sila, ay kailangan na mag-attend sila. So far, kasi nag-move forward na tayo ng topic, no? Napunta na tayo dito sa, tapos na tayo dun sa Barayuga case, no? Somehow, no? Meron yung mga witnesses na hinarap po natin tungkol dyan sa kasong yan, ay nagpagbigay na rin sila ng kanilang salaysay at na-record na po ito ng ating DOJ. In fact, nag-uumpisa na ng PI, no? Yung ating DOJ sa kanila, no? I think nakausap na rin sila. So if there are any other witness that will come out and again, no, perhaps mention the names of these personalities, then we will have to invite them so that bigyan din sila ng pagkakataon na magkaharap sila, yung nag-aakusa at saka yung inaakusahan.
Thank you.
Oh, here's the the email for those who wants to be invited. Please send your letters to quad.committee@house.gov.ph. So quad.committee@house.gov.ph. Yung gusto pong magpaimbita, sulatan niyo po si Congressman Abante.
Pati yung vloggers, pwede namin imbitahan.
And also, no, just for the information of everybody, kasi naging issue yung cancellation, no, which should not be. No? Kasi yung cancellation, hindi naman to yung una eh. Marami na pong okasyon na, in fact, kung di ako nagkakamali, this is the second time yata na nag-reset kami. If you recall, before we even invited si Colonel Garma and Colonel Leonardo in our last in the hearing, nag-cancel ho kami kasi wala pa ho kaming nakukuhang affidavits. That's why, nag-reset kami. Ito ay pangalawang beses na pong nare-reset. Hindi ho bago ito. At hindi naman po di po bawal ito.
Sana po, no, talagang if ever that they will be attending the next hearing, we hope that they will be sending us confirmation para lahat po may resibo, para at least lahat, di ba? Makita po natin that talagang they enter their participation in the next hearing through a formal letter. Mahirap po kasi talaga pag social media lang talaga.
Sa dalawang imbitasyon namin kay former President, sumulat sa amin si Atty. Delgra, officially, no? Yung unang sulat niya, hindi siya makakarating because he's not feeling well. Yung pangalawang sulat niya, hindi siya makakarating sapagkat hindi siya naniniwala sa Quadcom. At pangalawa, yung bang nasabi niya na lahat gusto niya sabihin sa Senado, yun lang Oo. So, wala kaming natanggap na formal letter from Atty. Delgra na mag-a-attend siya ngayon sa hearing namin. Wala Ang narinig lamang namin si Atty. Salpanelo ay nagpunta ng social media at sinabi na mag-a-attend. Palagay ko naman dapat naman na kung talaga gusto mag-attend, ito na yung email address. They should just formally inform us na mag-attend ang former president. And magiging masaya kami tungkol dyan.
Thank you, Gablalo from Inquirer Online.
Sir, moving forward, kasi kanina may na-mention, parang clarification lang, sir, na willing kayo makipag-set ng appointment with the camp of the former president para ma-determine kung kailan siya pwede moving forward.
Ang pwede namin gawin is pagbigay kami ng mga dates, no, ahead of time, at least kagaya ngayon, no, sinasabi natin na November 21, meron na tayo nakaschedule na Quadcom hearing. And then, siguro, pag-uusapan din namin kung kailan ulit yung susunod so that ahead of time, we will already inform all our resource persons na gusto mag-attend.
Kasi if we do that, no, ganun, no, parang other resource persons also might ask for that kind of special treatment. No? And I think tama si Chairman na mag-set na lang po ng availability ng bawat isa para sa ganun na hindi po kami to be construed as taking special treatment to other resource persons.